said, in the last series, why didn't, even after the penalty, why didn't the Giants go to the end zone and try and put the game away? How hard is it to get in from the 15-yard line?
Well, it's first and goal from 15. It's a little tougher, obviously, than, you like to be in that 7 or 8 yard line. You keep people guessing, and like the first time we kind of got what we thought. We ran it down to the 1 and got the penalty, and that killed us. Now they were smart, and they stayed back and dropped everybody in, and if we had thrown it into the end zone, there would have been a good chance that it would have been a disaster. Now, what you hope is, like with the screen pass, you throw something underneath and you make a run in there. And, we were calling, as we always do, do this or that if based upon the look. And then if they give you the look that tells you to run, then you hope that you're going to split it and get it into the end zone. But in hindsight, you wish we hadn't been as conservative. Maybe we took that option away and just say, let's try to throw it. Now, I can't say you can throw it in the end zone. I think you throw it in the end zone, it's probably picked off and brought back the other way, and then that wouldn't have been real smart either, because then all they had to do was drive it down and kick a field goal. But there's still other things you can do, and in retrospect, you certainly wish you'd done.
Kevin, given all the time you guys devoted to what you were going to do during the offseason, and now half the season's already complete, how dramatic can the tweaks be as you go into the second half of the season?
Yeah, I don't know if they have to be very dramatic. I mean, I think the margin between victory and failure is not very much, and we're right on the cusp. But I think there was certainly, the penalties were a big bugaboo, and the green zone has been an area that we haven't been as effective as you'd like to be. And the thing that's really disappointing is our third and shorts. Our short yardage right now is killing us, and that it affects our ability to hold on to the ball. And when the more longer that you hold on to the ball, the more chances you give our team. And the bottom line is, we give our offense enough chances. We're going to make some plays, and we're doing a tremendous job of helping our team and helping our defense by holding on to the ball, and that's great strategy. But then when you're down there, you got to finish it, and that's what we are not doing at the level that we think that we'd like to be doing it at.
Kevin, when you said that circumstances, is Brandon getting enough carries? Not yards, but carries.
Yeah, I don't know. As I said to you early on, when all of you were complaining that he was carrying it too much and not doing it well enough, that in the end of the season I thought the numbers would reflect a solid season for him, and I think I still feel the same way when it's all said and done. It'll all balance out. But they're trying to get, Ahmad in the beginning of the year was our hot runner and doing a great job, and everybody wanted to get him more carries, and now everybody wants to get Brandon more. You can't do it all, so you try to split it up, and that's up to our running back coach, who does a great job, and Tom again sets the parameters that Gerald operates in, and you just hope that you got the right guy in at the right time.
Danny Ware didn't touch the ball a lot, but did he show you enough to really be a part of this rotation going forward?
He has to be. He can be, as I said earlier on, he's got to be a guy that can give us some relief on first and second down, certainly, but also especially on third down. He's got to start to evolve into that player. So he's got to prove that, first and foremost, you can do the protection sufficiently. That's what you're going to do more often on third down than anything else. We have a physical group, but certainly one of the right out best running the ball. But I still believe that we have enough ability. Danny becomes the guy, and then certain runs that Ahmad does better than those other guys. So usually it's contingent on the run or a spontaneous injury that causes us to just make the change.
Sometimes the execution needs to be better. That's what we've been working on today. We'll continue to work on it as we go forward.
Number one thing we worry about, with a back coming off injury within our arm, is ball security. He's already had fresh legs. We knew what Danny could do running the ball, but can he hold on the ball? Can he protect the quarterback and take the hit? You know what I mean? So we bypassed that a little bit. We tried.
It sounds like because of personnel situations, you were forced to use him in ways that don't necessarily suit his game.
Yeah, because, like I said, we have an east and west, and and then restart again. It's not like a quick step. Quick stepper starts and has acceleration. And this, you know what I mean? Those long steppers. For years we used to play Georgia because those long striders can't restart. The guys who were like that.
Another group.
is constantly kind of looking at, well, what are the little things we could have done better? A few key plays could have been made, a few balls that you come down with, key blocks, being on the same page with the quarterback. So, you know, the standard is set to such that we want to be the best players that we can be, but also help the team win.
It's the fact that he has that big play potential, but like some of his like the little stuff like route running, it needs to be a little bit more precise. Is that something that you still see he needs development in?
Yes, key two things which I think have been mentioned by both Coach Coughlin and Coach Gilbride: the fact that he catches the ball well, and that he's extremely productive after the catch. He makes plays, he makes people miss. That's going to serve him well, and that's made him a very good player. And I think from the standpoint of taking the next step, being very defined, crisp in his route running, all of the fundamentals, the mechanics from the release to gaining separation to angles of finish to reading the defensive coverages and anticipating what the defense is going to do, where he needs to be. These are all areas that he's improving and needs to continue to improve upon. And the good news about Hakeem Nicks is he seeks out that advice. I mean, I offer him the feedback, but he beats me to the punch oftentimes because he says, hey, Coach, how can I do this better? And how does this look? And what did you think about this? And so he has the willingness and a tremendous attitude and is trying to improve, and he's aware of those areas. And I think as long as he continues to work and
Sunday, I'll be ready.
So you figure next Wednesday, it's real practice on Monday?
I'll be ready.
How much is this
Very I'm just very, very, very excited about flying back out there.
Because the last time you tried to come back a little too soon, how did you know that it was the right time you waited long enough?
Enough to go out there, but I was still feeling it a little bit, but of course trying to rush myself back. This time I think the doctors are trying to rush cobwebs off, so a couple more days of practice, I think I'll be all right.
And all the tears are healed? Like,
yes.
Okay, so
yes.
You had like an MRI to check that?
Good.
Okay.
You have to buy this and get a little bit of rest. How big is that? It's huge. Like I said, I didn't want to wait for the week to come back to practice, so I sort of begged the trainers to be out there today so I can get a little bit under me to know where I'm at and stay here during the bye and get treatment and conditioning so I'll be ready for next week's practice.
I mean, because you can play great for 50 snaps a game, but if they get the ball inside your 10 and you're not putting up enough resistance for them to keep them out of the end zone, you're giving up 7 points instead of 3, you're going to have a hard time winning games. And so that was one thing that'd be very easy to pinpoint and say that'd be it, is doing a better job of actually keeping people out of the end zone and forcing them to kick field goals.
now that you've had this bye week time, we talk about during the season, there's really not a lot of time to do self-scouting and so forth. Now that you've had this time, was there something else that you uncovered that you didn't expect to see that needs attention?
Not that. No, I wouldn't say. I wouldn't say it that way. I think when you can sit back and look at a 9-game self-scout, you can take a picture of what you are doing down there in that area of the field. How you are playing defense and what kind of calls you are or are not making, and so it gives you a chance, because we've had a couple days here to do that, to maybe rethink some thoughts defensively about what you can do maybe a little differently down there, whether it's within your base red zone defense, but also maybe some other calls outside of that maybe you normally don't bring into that part of the field, but may have a place, because it'd be a change-up for them, and whether it's different kind of pressure ideas or something like that.
How much can you really tweak, given you've had a whole off season, plus camp, plus now preseason games, regular season games? How much can you tweak? I mean, you can't make dramatic changes.
That's a good point. You can't make dramatic changes, but you definitely can modify it, because we do that every week anyways, even with our base stuff out in the middle of the field, based on what the offenses do. So, your point's taken there. I mean, you've got a whole spring and a whole preseason invested in playing a certain kind of a coverage down there, but even that defense, that covers it. Everybody has a red zone coverage that they play. We do tweak that every week based on what kind of routes the offense gives it. So you're right, you're not going to make a full-fledged overhaul and just dump what you've been doing, because you've invested a lot of work and you've taught your players how to play the coverage. And a lot of the time, just like out in the middle of the field, you just need to play the coverages better. Let's say if we're talking in regard to defending the passing game, but I think you can step back and take a look at what you're doing and maybe consider some other types of things. Again, maybe some pressure kind of ideas that maybe you normally don't think to bring down when you get inside the 10-yard line.
Well, teams usually don't have the bye this late, and
Yeah.
also teams usually don't get 1, 2, or 3 potential starters back. If Aaron can come back, you've already got the first 2 guys back. Do you anticipate that being a real injection of something to this defense, coming against the Falcons right away?
Yes, just because Aaron's a former starter for us.
I mean, all of them, the whole 3.
Yeah, yeah. I think it helped us the other night. Chris and Michael playing. So, yeah, that'll be great to get Aaron back because, like I say, he's been a starter here. And whether or not he'll be ready and how much we're ready to contribute in his first week back because he's been idle for so long, that'll be yet to be seen about how it goes in practice. But yeah, it'll be a great shot for us to get him back.
I mean, this will be more of what you were planning on back in the summer, essentially.
But when you're in the middle of it, I guess we're so wrapped up in skiing.
With graduates from NPower New York's Technology Service Corps, the service